the thing that was appealing from the moment I read the script is that it tapped into this long tradition of comedy movies that have satirised Hitler right back to the 1940s when he was still in power. Most famously, Charlie Chaplin with The Great Dictator, but then Ernest Lubitsch with Jack Benny and To Be or Not to Be, and Mel Brooks in the 60s, and certainly in the UK when I was growing up, there was lots of jokes at the expense of Hitler, because most people had some relation to that story. It was still very recent and very vivid, and the way people dealt with it at the time was to mock and laugh at this person. And so, to me, that was what was exciting. Was it felt like we were tapping into that, whether it's saying Heil Hitler so many times, which felt like it could have come from a Mel Brooks or a Jack Benny skit back in the days, which seemed great to me. It just felt like it was part of that tradition. And that was sort of the appeal, is that, it is still necessary to satirise and mock this sort of belief system, because unfortunately it still bubbles up every so often, and I think to sort of to laugh at it and undermine it is what it's what we need to do, and as I say, what we have been doing. I had notes for the guys, and it turns out it was too late.
Long list.
Yeah, it was a shame. But so I said, hopefully, certainly in future, any future projects.
Why did you come to me earlier?
I know, I didn't think it was appropriate, but too late now.
He didn't like the eye. He didn't like the nothing I can do now.
I just thought the whole thing worked as a whole. I mean, I was not expecting to laugh and then to cry. That was the thing that blew me away, and I think that's a testament to everybody.
I think the kids are brilliant. They're my favourites in the movie.
Yeah, I like characters that are in the gray, that are complicated, and it was so much more popular in the 70s in American cinema, anti-heroes, which is something we don't have a lot of right now. So I like villains and anti-heroes and people who are complex. They're not black or white, they're in the gray area.
Taika was just great when he got on the phone to me and was telling me about what he kind of wanted from the project, and immediately just thought he was just so relaxed. Just even on the phone, just made me feel relaxed, and it was great. And from doing Thrones, which didn't really require much comedic timing from me. I mean, viewers may argue, some might have found it hilarious, but I loved being able to just be given the opportunity to just do something like this. Growing up, I did a lot of pantomime when I was a kid with my family, and so sort of the things kind of going wrong or working on the fly and kind of working into the kind of spontaneous moments is great.
I just feel kind of honoured to be involved with a film that is this ambitious. I just think we are in an age where perhaps the more audacious stuff is being done in TV land, and that movies have, on the whole, mainstream movies at least, have become a lot more conservative with a small c, and scared of offending and dealing with big ideas. And I just think the fact that, both Fox Searchlight and Taika are willing to take a gamble on a story about a young boy and his imaginary Hitler, I just think that's great, and to be celebrated and championed.
You had a lot of good stuff.
Well, I'm such a fan of him, and I think also when having not met him before, a little intimidated, by him, because he's so versatile and so talented, and the one thing I have in my armory is humour, and I just thought, if I can make him laugh, then I feel like I'm onto something.
It was
here,
bad.
It's a reassuring myself that I'm being entertaining or amusing if I can make him.
They really should have some outtakes from his stuff. It was ad libs, if you want to call it that. It was just amazing. It's really, really good stuff.
But it's also just because you don't, I'm not writing or directing, so I don't have any of the anxiety of looking at the clock and thinking, have we got time? So to me, it's just, I could have played around in that character for hours. It was just it was entertaining. knowing that Taika in the end was going to use whatever he thought was appropriate, and it was all just part of the stew.
I would, just that they would come out with an emotion that they didn't think that they would have going in. That's what I would hope.
Absolutely. His particular brand of humor, I think, is that juxtaposition of a world that we've seen played so dramatically in so many movies. Just in giving his own unique spin to that, and he's created this strange little Taika world that feels unique, but also somehow real and authentic, and you care about these people in what on the surface seems like a kind of crazy, surreal world.
Hey, stay with me for more on comedy movies. Now, famed comedy director Todd Phillips, responsible for such classics as Old School and The Hangover, quit his role as director on Borat when he received death threats shortly after filming the rodeo scene. Concerned for his safety, Phillips didn't feel comfortable continuing with the film. Remember to click here below to subscribe and tap the bell to always receive the latest trailers.